We are live. As usual, I'm a few minutes late. Had to make me some coffee. I just got back from a trip. I had just got back to the house, so I figured I better run in there and get this going. Wait, see, tonight we're going to have fun facts. We're going to give away a tool. We're going to give away this really cool, we're going to give away another one of these headlight bands tonight. Got some cool facts. We'll sit around and shoot the bull a little bit. Case Tractor, welcome to the live, brother. How you doing? It take a few minutes for everybody to get in. I'm a few minutes late tonight. I was supposed to be here at 6. I got stuck out of town, and then I ran in here and got all my gear all set up real quick to get going on the live. We're going to do Fun Fact Friday tonight. We're going to give away one of these headlights to a lucky winner at the end of the live. We'll spin the wheel, and somebody's going to win this free of charge, free shipping. I looked these up and they go for like $50 on Amazon, like 40 to 50 bucks, somewhere in there. They're rechargeable, kind of a nice little light. It takes a little bit for the algorithm to push us out so we'll get a few people into the room. What's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, I thought I'd do tonight too is as you come in, or once we get a bunch of people in here, we'll talk about it. Put down what's your favorite tool in your toolbox, and what is the tool that you'd like to have but you don't have. I got a couple products to show you tonight, pretty basic ones. I just loaded some stuff really quick just so we could have some stuff for the Fun Fact Fridays. Everybody's been having a really good time with the Fun Fact Fridays, including me. I've been learning a lot. It's interesting to learn some of this stuff. The old technology, that we think is new technology is actually new. It's just old technology refined. It's amazing, when you look into the history of the automobile, how many things were actually discovered, in the 1800s and 1900s, and everybody thinks it's new technology. Yeah, I like it too. Thanks for saying that, Case Tractor. It's been kind of a fun little thing. We'll just keep doing it as long as everybody's having a good time. That's what we want to do. Tonight, we just had a bunch of people come into the room. Tonight, we're going to be giving away a headlamp. At the end of the live, we're going to spin.
Then make a U-turn.
What is that? Hang on, guys. I got my navigational system still going. Let's turn this off. We don't need that. I just got back from a trip. Anyway, we're going to be giving away one of these lights tonight. Somebody will win this free of charge. No purchase necessary. We'll spin the wheel. Whoever wins this, we'll ship it to them, free shipping within the United States. So we'll get going here with the fun facts. I did some tool facts tonight that I thought were kind of interesting. We should probably get some more people in here, I'm sure. So when do you think the first wrench was patented? First open-end wrench. I was a little surprised. Some of these things are really surprising. When they come up, You think you know it, and you don't. So the first, when do you think the first wrench was patented? First wrench patented in what? 18 what? Let's hear some guesses. It was in the 1800s, that's pretty crazy. Anybody want to guess? 18 what? First wrench was patented when? So the first wrench was patented in 1835 by Solomon Merrick, leading to the adjustable wrench design still used today. So that's pretty interesting. When was the first ratcheting wrench? The first ratchet. When do you think the first ratchet was discovered or created or founded? So the first ratchet. When I was a kid, I used to love to sit there and just play with a ratchet, sit there and spin it around. If you ever want to see a kid have a good time, man, give them a ratchet with a socket on it and watch how much time they spend with it. 1950, I got a 1901. It was actually in the 1800s. Can you believe that? The first ratchet. Any more guesses? First ratchet, when was it developed? First ratchet, when was it developed? We're going to be giving away a headlamp tonight at the end of the live. We're going to spin for this headlamp. You could win this. No purchase necessary. 1890. It was actually 1863. 1863 was the first ratchet. That's pretty amazing, huh? I thought it was. So I did some toolage tonight, and then we did some motorcycle stuff too. So if we got some motorcycle enthusiasts, excuse me, stick around. I went and had lunch with Betsy today. We went over and had some Mexican food, and we went and watched a movie. And so we had some fun today. Kind of just took a day off. I've been really busy with the YouTube stuff lately. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. We just about got our merch all squared away. We got the Shopify account going, so we should have merch real soon. And then what was the other thing I was supposed to tell you guys? Oh, if you're having just a wonderful time, you can't resist yourself. There at the bottom of your phone, there's a thank. If you want to thank us, you can thank us. It's like buying us a cup of coffee. What was the other thing? If you go up the top of your phone, the three little dots that run across the top, you can look at the description and you can like and share the live from there. So anyway, and then at the end of the live, somewhere in the live today, I got two products I want to show you guys. The links are in the description for that stuff. So anyway, let's get going. The first socket set, first set of sockets actually appeared alongside the steam engines, and they later became essential for automotive work. What year do you think the sockets that were removable off the wrench, when do you think that occurred? Hey Heather, how you doing? What's up? Welcome to live. When do you think the first 1860 first socket set was? 1863. Hey, Ralph Fernandez, welcome to the live. Glad you're here. After we get done live, we can just sit around and shoot the bull if you guys want to about hot rods or whatever. 1863 was the first socket set. Here's one that just really blew me away. When do you think the first cordless power tool was? Now here it is in 2025. All the shops, just about all the mechanics I know, are running cordless impact drivers and drills. Just all the shops use that now. I still have all my air stuff because sometimes the air stuff is it's a little more powerful, especially on a 1/2-inch impact. 1956, 1912. It was actually Black & Decker. Can you believe that? Black & Decker was the first ones. So in 1961, Black & Decker introduced the first cordless drill, a big step towards a battery-powered automotive shop we know today. That's pretty interesting, right? So we'll go into motorcycles. Tell me, any motorcycle crazies like me on the board tonight? I can't wait for spring to roll around. I'm going to have my bike ready this one. Nice, cool. This is nice. Hey, thank you. I hope I get your name right. Corinal 3732. Yeah, so every Friday night we do Friday fun facts, and then we give away a tool at the end of the live. And then on Saturdays now, I'm going to show you guys a clip of my Saturdays that we're doing. We're doing automotive for just somebody that knows nothing about automotive. And then on Tuesdays, we do Tinkering Tuesdays. So we do Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. So anyway, we'll do a couple more of these, and I'll show you guys that I got like a 5-minute video for you guys to watch if you want to. It just shows what we're doing on Saturday mornings now. So if you know somebody that's don't know anything about cars, or they're trying to just like to learn a little bit more about their own vehicle when they take it into the shop and stuff, Saturday mornings. And then we're going to start doing, I think on Tuesdays, we're going to start allocating half of the live for questions and answers for people that have automotive questions. 1940 Knucklehead. Who was that? I can't see it. For some reason. 19. Hey, Hernandez, you have a 47 Knucklehead? That's awesome. I got a couple Evolution bikes. One's a first year Evolution, 1984 Evolution, beautiful bike. And then I got a 91 Electric Glide with an Evo motor in it. Hey, thanks for saying that, Coronel. I hope I'm saying your name right. I try to say it right. I really do. Partially restored. Nothing wrong with that. Anybody that's got a knucklehead in the garage is cool in my book. Okay, this will be a neat one for you guys then. When was the first gas-powered motorcycle? When do you think the first gas-powered motorcycle was? When do you think the first gas-powered motorcycle was? Any guesses? It says the Daimler Rettwagen, built by Gottlieb Daimler, man, his name is hard to say, let me tell you, is considered the first internal combustion motorcycle. What year do you think? 1925. Nope. You know how you guys know how I like to say nope, nope, nope. Good guess though, B Rhodes. When do you think the first motorcycle, very first motorcycle, first gas-powered motorcycle? It was in the 1800s. Any guesses? In the 19s. It's in the 1800s. Indian. Hey, Wilt, how you doing, brother? How you been? I was about a half hour late tonight. I was trying not to be, but it didn't work out that way. 1804. It's a good guess. Good to hear. I haven't had much time to get on the lives early in the mornings. Work's been kicking this old man's butt, man. I'm not used to working. I've been off work for 5 months, so working 3 days in a row is a rough on this old guy. 1885. 1885 was the first gas-powered motorcycle. Could you imagine that? Well, that's something I want to look up tonight because I was kind of curious. Is like, so think about these cars. Like, so this was a gas-powered motorcycle in 1885. Where did they get the fuel from? How did they supply fuel for those kind of vehicles back then? I'm joking. I'm glad you're busy. I'm joking. Dang. Yeah, pretty crazy, huh? I was thinking about that the other day. These early cars that were ran on gas, it makes you wonder, you know, what was the infrastructure like back then to get gasoline? Were were people, yeah, I bet you people were creating their own white lightning. They're probably using stills to create their own fuel, I'm sure. Okay, this is an easy one. When was Harley Davidson founded? If you're a Harley guy and you don't know the answer to this, you should be spanked. When was Harley Davidson officially founded? Close. 1903. You got it, Will. This is a little surprising to me. I thought was about Harley. Did you know Harley Davidson was the first to produce a 2-speed transmission? It was in what year do you think the first motorcycle transmission was developed? Harley Davidson came around in 1903, and I'm thinking they must just push start them with just a direct drive push start. So when you think the first tranny, so they had a 2-speed high and low that Harley Davidson came out with. Any questions? No, wow, you're filled with facts. I kind of cheat a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I can look these up one at a time, but I use my old buddy Bob. I call him Bob. So 1913. 1914. Harley Davidson introduced a 2-speed transmission in 1914. So when was the first BMW Boxer engine bike? What year? BMW, first year. First year of the BMW Boxer engine. What year? It was called an R32. So it was a flat twin Boxer engine, now legendary. 39. Close, Wilt. Thanks, B Rhodes, for saying that. I always forget to say that. Actually, I want to tell you guys thank you because because of the people that have been doing super thanks and stuff, it allows us to be able to do this on Friday nights. And we've actually made, I mean, we're not making a killing or nothing, but we're making enough little money here and there on the lives through the super thanks to be able to give away these tools, which is kind of nice. 1923. 1923 was the first BMW R32. Why they called it an R32 and 23, that's kind of weird, but whatever. Let's see if there's some Harley buffs in here. First year of the Knucklehead. You know, the Knucklehead, the Panhead, in my opinion, were the most beautiful motors that Harley ever built. The Knucklehead is just a beautiful motor, and the Panhead too. If I was going to build something, today, and I'm going to do one. It's on my bucket list. I want to build me a Panhead. A Panhead with a chain drive, no front brake, maybe with the butthole shifter on it. Hey, thanks for saying that, Coronel. Man, how am I wish I could get your name because I think I'm killing your name. Corrine Nell. Corrine, I think. Hope I'm saying that right. That's what's nice about this. It's not hard to get rid of people. Corrine. Okay, hope I did that better. So the Knucklehead, what year was the Knucklehead introduced? I'm gonna give you the answer. Any guesses? In the 30s. In the 30s. Knuckleheads, when they're done up nice, man, they're just such a nice looking ride. 1936 was the first Knucklehead. Here's one that'll shock you too. When was the first Honda motorcycle? What year? I've had some Hondas. You know, I'm not a big proponent of I don't like to promote Japanese products, but Honda built some nice products back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, they were dependable. They gave Harley Davidson a run for their money. They almost put them out of business. The first Honda motorcycle was the Honda Dream D, 1949. 1940s, in the 40s. You wouldn't think that Honda was around in the 40s. The Honda Dream D type launched in 1949. So here's one that'll when my uncles were running around, I can remember Triumphs used to be a really popular bike for guys building choppers. I'd say probably half of the bikes running around back in the 70s were Triumphs. Triumph was a really popular chopper bike back in the day. Yeah, Honda does make a lot of stuff. They have good engineering. That's what made Honda so popular. Just well-engineered products. I mean, even their cars are they're indestructible. Okay, so when did the Triumph Bonneville debut? The Triumph Bonneville, when did it debut? What year? Is that a car? Hey, Wilt, do you know what BSA stands for? Close, Wilt. Do you know what BSA were famous for before they started building motorcycles? They used to build firearms. That's what it stands for. BSA stands for British Safer Arms, I think is what it's called. BSA was they were an arms manufacturer, and then they went into building motorcycles. So Triumph debuted in 1959. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people didn't know that. I'll tell you an interesting fact too. You know, did you know that Porsche, when they first started, they built airplanes? That's why when you look at the Porsche emblem, that's what it replicates. It replicates a I know, I can't think. The little thing that goes around and makes a plane go. Prop. So the Porsche emblem replicates a prop. And Porsche, before they built cars, they used to build airplanes. A 60-something 650 Bonneville Triumph. You know, I just seen a Triumph the other day for sale. Cheap too. And I was like, man, that'd be a cool little project. It was a 750 Triumph. Oh, Will, you're right. You're right. I said Porsche, huh? BMW. You're right. See, a good thing I got you here, Wilt. Keep me in line. Keep me on that. Don't be trying to give out false information. You're right, it was BMW. But they built airplanes before they built automobiles. What was the first year of a brake? A first disc brake on a Harley? What year? Yeah, you know a little. I'll give you credit for that. Us old guys know a couple things. I know a lot of stuff, but my tell people my hard drive is overran. It's like, you know, when you're working on your computer and it says hard drive full, delete to make room for more information. Hey, Casty 1318, welcome to the live. Friday nights we do this, and at the end of the live we give away a tool. We're going to give away one of these tonight. It's a headlamp, a really nice one. You can do one light, the other light, or you can do both lights. Pretty nice little light. It's rechargeable, so we're going to give that away tonight at the end of the live. We'll spin the wheel. I got this really amazing wheel. How come you guys haven't given me crap about that wheel yet? I've been saying for a month, I'm going to build a new wheel. We're going to have a new wheel. Guess what? We're still using this funky old wheel that I built, but that's okay. So anyway, we're going to give, that's what we do on Friday nights. 1981. It actually came on a Sportster. Can you believe that? That was the first disc brake on a Harley. It was on a Sportster. And it was in the 70s. Yeah, it looks, that's what it looks like, huh, Will? The wheel of Go Big. What kind of guy calls himself Go Big and he's got this little tiny wheel? We should have a wheel the size of this wall, man. I thought about getting, have you seen those little imitation small block Chevys? They're little motors. They're about this big and they're a replica of a small block and you can start them. I was thinking that'd be perfect, man. Put the wheel on the front of that thing and fire it. Brum, brum, brum. I don't know. Okay. I actually encountered this. The first fuel-injected Harley was what year? What year was the first fuel-injected Harley? So next Tuesday, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to tear down that 112 while we're doing the live. We got V10s also. First fuel injection. It was a piece of junk system. It was called a Morelli. 1994. 1994 through 97, I think, was the first. They might have used them through like 98 or 9. They were like a throttle body type fuel injection system. And they had real basic controls. And as long as they ran good, they were fine. But boy, once they start having problems, they were not easy to fix. And now they're getting hard to find parts for. So that's something to keep in mind for you guys that are looking for a bike. If you can find one of those Morellis that has problems with the fuel injection system, what you can do, they came in fuel injection and carburation for the same year. So if you find a Morelli that has problems that doesn't run, you can buy a harness off a carbureted bike, put the harness on there and go back to a carburetor to get rid of the computer and the thing will run fine. Anyway, so I had a 97 Road King that was fuel injected and it had that Morelli fuel injection in it. But it wasn't too bad. I got it running really good. Okay, we're going to go into land speed records. Are there any land speed people here? Put an SS on it. What was I just reading? Because I was thinking about doing a shirt that says "Go Big" with a V twin on it, with the 114 CI on it. Because they build an aftermarket. Harley builds an aftermarket S&S motor. I think it's an S&S motor. Bonneville. Good deal. The first official land speed record set by Gaston de Crossaloup. What was the speed? Yeah, you're talking about Bill Rhodes and the what is it was called, the fastest Indian, I think. So what was the speed of the first land speed record? Nope. Well, what was the first land speed record? What was the speed? It'll surprise you. It was under 50 miles an hour. Any guesses? Under 50. That was the first land speed record. And this is what'll shock you. It wasn't set with a gas engine. 35. Good guess. You almost had it. You almost had it, Wilt and Case Tractor. 39 miles per hour was the first land speed record, and it was done in an electric car called the Gene Todd. 39 miles per hour was the answer. 39 was the first land speed record. Okay, so when was the first year they broke 100 miles an hour? First land speed record to break 100 miles an hour was by Louis Regali. And you hear some of these vehicles, and you don't even know what they are because they weren't the big three manufacturers. He did it in a Gabron Brielli, 1908. Close, Wilt. 1904. 1904 was when we broke the first 100 mile per hour speed record. So think about that. In 1904, we broke 100 miles an hour. When did we break the 200 mile an hour mark? 200 miles an hour. Malcolm Campbell shattered the barrier by pushing the Bluebird on Daytona Beach. In what year? Nope. Any more guesses? It was in the 20s. Daytona Beach. We broke the 200 mile per hour land speed record in the 20s. That's amazing, isn't it? 200 miles per hour in the 20s. In 1927. In 1927, Malcolm Campbell shattered the barrier by pushing Bluebird to 206 miles per hour on Daytona Beach in 1927. Could you imagine that? 200 miles an hour in 1927. Man, these guys were nuts. Think about the safety. You realize that if these guys was the crash, it would have been done. They have no safety systems whatsoever. They probably had a leather cap on their head, you know. So what was the first to break 300? Hey, Easy Money, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Welcome to the live. I was a little late tonight. I was out of town, and I got here, and I had an issue with my camera. I was trying to get everything hooked up, and then anyway. Good to see you here, brother. They had solid tires. I'm sure they did. So when did we break the 300 mark? This is crazy. I think about that. You know, I thought about it too, and I was thinking, you know, what could a guy afford to break the land speed record on? And I was looking at those little 212 little motors. I wonder what the land speed record is on a mini bike. You know, if you did like a dual motor on a mini bike, I bet you could break the record. You'd have to be a little nuts, but that's okay. I could do that. I could hang on. What year did we break 300? Same guy too. Malcolm Campbell again made history, running 301 miles an hour. What year? Tall gears, yeah. I see that when they get them going, they put them in. They start out in such a tall gear that they just push them to get them going. They can barely keep them running when they first start out because they're so tall geared. One of my buddies at work, he used to go to the salt flats every year. And he said they used to camp right on the salt. He goes, you'd be right there where the cars are going by, 250 plus miles an hour. He goes, it's different now. They can't even hardly get near the cars now. So what year? That was close, Case Tractor. 1935. Can you believe that? In 1935, we broke 300 miles per hour. 1935, and it was the same guy. It was the same guy that broke the 200 mile an hour mark. He broke the 200 mile mark in 27, and in 35, he broke the 300 mile mark. So after that, the jet engines got involved. The jet engines entered the game. It says John Cobb set a record of 394 miles per hour in what year? With the Ralton Mobile Special, the fastest piston engine car ever. No jets yet. So this was a piston car. He did 394 miles per hour. What year? He was definitely a pioneer, Wilt, for sure. We've kind of lost all that. That's kind of one of the reasons why I do the channel and I do all the automotive stuff. A lot of young men are getting lost in the shuffle of understanding what it is to build a hot rod. To sit out there and, think about how you're going to do it and build it and what you want to do to it. And now these young guys are just so involved in video games that they don't even know how a car runs anymore. They don't know how to work on their own cars, which is kind of weird to me because I came from a different era. I was broke. I had to fix my car. I wasn't going to take it to the shop to have it fixed off. I couldn't afford it. What year? Elon Musk is our last pioneer. Yeah, I think so. He had a nice big pile of money to do it with, though. A lot of these guys, man, they did it off with their hard work. What year? Lee Harris, how you doing, brother? Good to see you live. Good evening. My favorite turbojet military engine is the old 60s and 70s General Electric J79 with afterburners. Boy, I bet you that was something to see. I never been in airplanes, but I think I could because they're interesting to me. That's for sure. Helicopters have always sparked my interest. They're so expensive. I don't know how anyone owns one. So 1947 was John Cobb set a record at 394 miles an hour. Can you imagine that? 1940s doing 394. That's crazy. And that was a piston engine. So in 1964, that was a great year. That was the year I was born. 1964, the first to break 500 miles per hour. You're right, Will. It was 47 for the 300. In 1964 was the first to break 500 miles per hour. Craig Breedlove hit 526 miles per hour in his jet-powered Spirit of America, igniting the jet age of land speed records. 500 miles an hour in 1964. You know what's funny, Will? I remember the Blue Flame. That was a very popular car for land speed records, was the Blue Flame. Here you go, right here. It was 19, I won't tell you when. What was the first car to break the 600 mile per hour at 622 miles per hour using a rocket engine powered by liquid natural gas and hydrogen peroxide? What was the car and what year? What do you think, Will? It was in 1970. In 1970, Gary Gabalish Blue Flame hit 622 miles per hour in 1970 using a rocket engine that was powered by natural gas and hydrogen peroxide. That's crazy. Here's one that's kind of surprising. That's held a long ways. What year was it? Don Vesco Yeah, you knew it was in there. It was a really popular car back in the day. I remember that as a kid. So Don Vesco set a 203.6 mile per hour on a motorcycle streamliner, a record class that still draws hardcore speed junkies today. Longest standing record by a wheel-driven car. What year? 203 miles an hour. It was in 1983. It was the longest standing record by a wheel-driven car in 1983. What was the first and only car to break the sound barrier? First and only car to break the sound barrier. And what year? Andy Green, driving the Thrust SSC, became the first person to officially break the sound barrier on land, hitting 763 miles per hour, Mach 1. What year was it? Knight Rider. There's a couple times I felt like I was going Mach 1. $1997. 97 was the first person to break the sound barrier. Crazy, huh? I want to ask a couple questions about fuel. Hey, you guys mind watching this 5-minute video? I want to show you what we're doing on Saturday mornings. And while I'm doing that, I can look up a couple more things. We're probably going to end the live at an hour tonight, and we'll spin for the tool. Smash that like button. Yes, please smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We appreciate your subscriptions. We're trying to get our subscription base up. Anyway, I'm going to play this 5-minute video for you guys, if you don't mind. And this is what we're doing on Saturday mornings now. So if you know somebody that could use this kind of teaching, yeah, where is Mortarin? I was hoping he'd be here. I was really I drug my feet forever to get his stuff out to him, but his light is on the way. Yep, I'm not sure where motoring is. Maybe he's working tonight or something. I'm not sure. Maybe he's working on his car. Where's Father Time? There's a few of them missing here tonight. You know, I need to make up a list of people I need to shout out because all you guys really make this what it is. You know, I put on the live, but everybody coming here and being involved is really what makes the live. And we really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to do this. And I just want to tell you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really mean that. But we got a bunch of them that, like, you guys remember Phil 420 or something like that? He's talking about going to the Philippines. I haven't heard from him in a bit. He's been missing for a while. And I seen a Maggot was on here on the last one. Anyway, I'm going to play this for you guys. This is the type of, it's kind of like a podcast I'm trying to do on Saturday mornings to teach people that know nothing about their cars. So I'm gonna put this up here, and while I'm doing that, I want to ask some questions about fuel, and then we'll spin for the tool. Here we go. Brakes and actually how they work. So here we go. We're gonna talk about brake systems. What are they? Why do we have them? And how do they operate? So brake systems is basically, you know, that you step on the pedal and the car comes to a stop, or it's supposed to come to a stop. And I want to explain this in a very simple manner where you can kind of understand this, whether you know what a brake system is or not. So I want you to just picture a turkey baster. You know, when you squeeze the bulb on a turkey baster, you know what happens? You know, you suck fluid up in it. When you push on the bulb, the fluid comes out the end, right? So I just want to imagine on your brake pedal, there's a big bulb like a turkey baster. And that's basically what's happening. When you step on the brake pedal, there's a hydraulic unit. So just think of it as the bulb on the turkey baster, that when you put pressure on it, it sends fluid down a line to all four corners of the car. So there's two in the front and there's two in the back. And when you step on that pedal, that fluid travels down that line and it pushes up against what they call a piston. And what it does, it creates movement. So your tire is rotating and you want it to slow down. And there's things called a brake pad and a brake shoe. And what happens is that fluid forces those brake pads to squeeze like this. And there's a metal rotating rotor that's spinning right here. And so as you apply pressure with your foot, that fluid that went down the line, it's pushing those pads against that metal piece to slow it down. And when you let off the brakes, those pads come away from the rotor. And the same thing is going on in the back. In the back, as you push on the pedal, right, there's shoes, sometimes pads in the back. Now you can have disc brakes front and rear. And we'll explain that, what disc brakes and drum brakes are. Drum brakes actually have what they call shoes, and they're like half moon shaped. And they're inside a drum that is round, and the drum is spinning when you're going down the road. And when you want to slow it down, it pushes out on these shoes the same way. In the front it squeezes, in the back it pushes out. So when you push on that, think of the turkey baster in your head. As you push on that bulb, the brake pedal, it pushes fluid down that line, and that pushes the pads and the brake shoes. The brake shoes come out and the brake pads squeeze. And that's what causes your car to come to a stop. And then when you release the pedal, those, because there's springs on them that pull them back, especially in the back, the brake pedal, when you let go, it pulls those shoes back away from the drum. And in the front, it just releases pressure, so there's no longer squeezing. So basically what happens when you're hearing noise, you think, oh, I'm hearing a funny noise when I apply my brakes. Well, it's possible that one of the pads is worn out or one of the shoes is worn out. And in the back, there's little rivets that once the shoe becomes worn, it'll start making a scraping noise. The same way with the pads in the front. The pads, as they wear, there's little wear indicators that makes a squeaking noise. So you know, hey, it's time for brakes. So anytime you hear noises coming from when you apply your brakes, it's something to be concerned about or be aware of. And that's a good time to go into the shop. And I want to explain to you kind of how to talk to the shop when you go in so it can save you time and money. You can go, let's say you're hearing a noise in your brakes, you take it into the shop, and when you tell them, you should say, don't just say, hey, my car has a noise. No, you want to let them know, hey, my car has a noise when I step on the brake pedal. So that eliminates time for them. They know, hey, it's in the brake system. And then you want to tell them, when does it make noise? Does it make noise when you're coming down hills for a long period of time? Does it make noise when you're turning right and left? Does it only make noise when it's wet outside? So all those conditions will help that mechanic figure out the problem faster, which will help you. The video is kind of sketchy for some reason. We had that same. I know, Viv. Yeah, the video was kind of sketchy. Anyway, it bought me some time. I got to get my stuff together. Go big to be Santa Claus. I could be Santa Claus. I've been Santa Claus. Actually, one time, one of my kids at school, I rode my Harley up to the school with a Santa Claus suit on, and I went up to and gave out gifts to the kids. That was fun. I like giving gifts too, by the way. It's probably why I'll never be rich. Hey, so I looked this up because I was really curious. I wanted to share this guy with you guys, and I didn't know the answer to this. And it says, I asked, when was gasoline first available to the public? And it said, gasoline began being sold in small amounts to the public in the 1860s, mostly as solvent or cleaning fluid, not as a fuel. So gasoline started as a cleaning fluid. We used to use it for cleaning fluid forever in the garage. That was pretty common. But check this out. First public sales as fuel was 1885 to 1890. Gasoline became publicly available as a motor fuel in the late 1880s when early gasoline engines were invented. In 1905 was the first dedicated gas pump. The first modern gas pump was introduced in 1905, which marks the true beginning of public gasoline fuel stations. And then it was talking about when they first came out, you could go in and buy gasoline from the hardware stores in small cans. So 1860, it was sold to the public. It became available as a motor fuel in 1880s. And 1913 was the first real gas station widely available to everyone. That's kind of interesting. Did they use visible pumps? I know the early gas stations, they just, like in this article, they talked about the early days that you could get it at like hardware stores in the can. You buy it by the can in the hardware store. So anyway, I thought that was let's get rid of this world. Thought that was interesting. Okay, let's take roll call. Who all's here? We got Case Tractor. Wilt's here. This might be an easy one, guys. B Rhodes. It's going to be an easy competition tonight. Flip a coin. Yeah, we could do that. Let's do odd or even. We'll do odd or even. Wilt, you pick odd or even. Wilt, you want odd or even? Wilt says odd. This will make one spin out of the whole deal now. Get this flipped around where you guys can see what I'm doing. Sorry guys, get this. Can you guys see that? Let's see. Hang on. We got cords going everywhere. See, where's the thing? Right there. This is not. I need to have this on my tripod. Can you guys see the numbers? Oh, it looks blurry. Hang on a second. Here we go. Wilt says odd. Okay, Case Tractor, you're even. Here we go for the headlamp. And the number is, ooh, it's on 13. Can you see that? It's definitely on 13. It's odd. B Rhodes, we kicked you out. Sorry. We have to do 3 numbers. So Wilt's the winner tonight with an odd, correct? All right, Wilt. Send me an email to this email address. You go on there? Come on, let's see it. Come in and post. Hey, well, look at how that's spelled. Take a good look at the spelling. It's Fidty. Well, I appreciate you guys being here tonight. It's kind of a slow night tonight. I'm thinking we might move one of these nights over to Tuesdays, or maybe we're doing Tuesday already. We might move to Thursday night. I don't know. Thursday night seems like a really good good night to get some. I got this thing turned around the wrong way. What am I doing? Showing my mess over there on my other shelf. There we go. Seems like Thursdays are a pretty popular night for lives. We get more traction. But I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Tuesday night, I think what I'm going to try to do is go ahead and start doing something on the live. Like Tinkering Tuesday is supposed to be for our projects and talking about projects. So I think I'm going to have actually some kind of project going on and actually do it during the live and see if that helps to get more traction. We're just going to keep grinding after it. We've had a lot of new people coming in. So me being on working now, it kind of tied up my time a little bit, so I don't get to do as many lives in the mornings, but we'll figure it out. So anyway, on Tuesday, we'll go ahead and for you that haven't been here before, we just did the drawing for the light. We give away a light here every Friday night. Not a light, we give away a tool here every Friday night. And then we got the website going. We got some work to do on the website, gobigtools.com. Oh, you know what? That's something I didn't get to show you guys. Here, let me show you this real quick. There's links. You know the Ego lights I've been pushing all the time, those LEDs? They came down in price. They're $36 for a pair of 4 now. So there's a link in the description for that. And then I want to show you guys this hitch. What is the price on that hitch? I'm trying to remember what it was. Let me see real quick. It's an adjustable trailer hitch. It's pretty nice. They're about $90. But they have a locking pin on them, 2 locking pins. The ball adjusts up and down. It has 2 balls, and then it has a U on it so you can tow with a chain or something on it. But there's a link in the description if you guys want to look at that stuff. I'll show you what it looks like, though, so you guys can get a good look at it. And for all you guys that have purchased through the Amazon links, man, thank you. I appreciate that. It helps us keep the lights on and be able to upgrade equipment and stuff. So it helps a lot. I just bought this for myself, but I thought I might as well put a link. So it has a 2-inch ball, and it has a 2 5/16 ball. And then it has, let me show you what it looks like. It's for a 2-inch receiver, and it's adjustable. So the pins here have a lock on them. So you can lock these so nobody can steal it. So it has 1 locking pin where it goes in the receiver, a locking pin for this part, and this adjusts up and down. And then you can flip it over and decide what size ball you want to use. So I have a 2 5/16 trailer, but I also have a 2-inch for my boat. So this is adjustable up and down, locking pins. It's 1/4-inch thick steel, and they're about $90 for the whole setup. And this whole thing rotates, so you can hook onto this with a chain to pull somebody out. But shoot, I bought one of these, just one of these small ones here at Harbor Freight, like about, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. And it was 25 or 30 bucks just for that one little piece. So now with this, I can haul anything I need. They actually have another one too you can get that has 4 balls on it. It actually has 3 balls and then a hook. But I didn't really see a need for an 1 7/8". Hardly anything uses an 1 7/8 anymore. But anyway, if you're interested in this receiver, the links are in the description. And we make a small commission from Amazon when we sell one of these. So anyway, if you guys would just go take a look at them, I appreciate it. Let me get this thing back where it was supposed to be. So do you guys have any ideas where we can create some more buzz on the lives to get more people in the room? It seemed like when I did the relay, we had a lot of people in here that night. When I wired up the relay, we really had a lot of people come in. You know what? Let me show you guys something real quick. It actually came out. I'm not done with this video, but it's pretty cool. I think it came. What I did was need to do more shorts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've been talking about that. I've been actually like redoing some of the lives as shorts. Hey, Case Tractor, you can get them that way with the 1 7/8". You can get it with all 3 balls. It comes with an 2 5/16, a 2-inch, an 1 7/8", and then a hook. So there is another model. It's not listed in the description, but if you're interested in it, this company makes one like that. It's just not in the description. But if you go to my link and just click on it, and then go to Amazon, and if you end up purchasing one, we'll still get credit for it for you because you clicked our link. So anyway, but they do have a 3-way ball with a hook on the bottom. So you can get it with all 3 balls, 1 7/8", a 2-inch, and a 2 5/16. So it'll do whatever size you want to do. Actually, I wish I would have bought that one because once in a while I do have to pull an 1 7/8". Not very often, but I wasn't paying attention when I ordered this one, and but it'll work out. Anyway, this same company, if you go to this description link and just put in there I think it's ITI. I think that's what it's called. Let me see the paperwork real quick. I don't know what I did with it. Here it is right here. The company's called TYT. TYT. They make all kinds of like pretty reasonable, and they're pretty good quality. I mean, obviously they're made in China. You know, most everything is you buy now, but the quality's pretty good. It's not real thin stuff. It's pretty heavy duty. You burn the wire up. Okay, you did. You seen that? Yeah. So we've created a short to ground, and we're gonna make that part. We're gonna make that part of that video. It's for some reason the video is really lags on here. I don't know why. We'll have to figure that out. When we play video on here, it kind of lags a little bit. But keep your eye open. We're going to be dropping that video for the 5-pin relay. And during that video, I created a direct short to ground, so people can see what can happen when you create a short to ground on an unfused circuit. You know, that's exactly what happens. It just turns into a fusible link, you know, and that's what can happen if you run too small of wires to a heavy load. Oh, you didn't see no lagging on the video that we played tonight? Like when I played that video, that 5-minute video, did it lag at all? Because Betsy said it was looking kind of blurry. It wasn't quite, didn't look right. Anyway, we're going to be dropping that. I'm hoping to have that video done by the end of the weekend. So maybe by maybe tomorrow night or Sunday we'll be dropping that. We'll be dropping that video. I was hoping I could find. Give me a second. I want to see if I can, because I have a copy of that video and I added the burning, but I'm not sure. I think it might be, give me just a second. I'm sorry, I'm not organized tonight. I don't know what the hell. It might have been this one. Image, whatever. This is what happens when you have an Yeah, that's what it is. Give me a second. I'll load this for you guys if you guys want to watch it. I know where it is now. I need to be more organized when I do this part, but I was in kind of a hurry tonight. This is what can happen. Is that the one? Let's see what it is. Yeah, here we go. This is what happens when you have an unfused circuit. This is what happens when you have an unfused circuit or you wire the relay incorrectly. Just imagine that was underneath your dash. So we just created a short to ground. We just created a short to ground and showed what can happen. And that can happen when you run too small wires, too heavy of a load without a relay. I see it all the time where I was gonna burn up the toggle switch. And that's what you see a lot is the toggle switches. Yeah, so we showed that. I showed that in the beginning of the video, and then I ran it backwards where it shows the smoke sucking back into it. And then we play that little clip about midway in the video, just to get some attention on the video. We'll see how it goes for sure. I think that will help out. And I trimmed it up. It's not as long as it is like what I played just now. And it's a little more zoomed in so you can see it a little better. Yeah. So we'll drop that probably over the weekend, hopefully. And then, like I said, we got our Spotify stuff figured out, and I'm gonna do Printify. Is that right? Printful. We're gonna do Printful so everybody can like buy hats if they want. And you just go on there, click on it, and it ships it to you, and they take care of all the shipping. But we're gonna do the artwork and the design and the choosing of the quality of the hat. So anyway, that's coming up soon. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the live. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure, Wilt, you get, make sure you send me that email so I can get your light off to you in the mail. Okay. Hey, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you probably, Saturday morning will be the next. So tomorrow morning, I'll do the like basic automotive thing tomorrow morning. We're trying to make that more like a podcast. So people driving to work or whatever, they can listen to it. And that's the other thing. If you guys want to hear the lives, we're on, hey, I'm sorry you missed this too. Harvinsky, welcome to the live. Hey, come check us out. Every Friday night we do this at 6. I try to be on here at about 6 p.m. Sometimes I'm a little late, 6:15. But anyway, every Friday night we do this Fun Fact Fridays. And then at the end of the live, we give away a tool. So anyway, you can rewatch this too. It'll get loaded as a podcast, but it won't be available today. It'll probably be tomorrow. But anyway, I was going to tell you guys, all our lives now are being loaded on YouTube Music as audio only. So you can listen to the lives on YouTube Music. And then once we get a Spotify account set up, we're going to start. I think Saturday it works out better for like a podcast. And then Tuesdays I'm going to start opening, and Wilt, you're going to be one of the ones, if you don't mind doing it. You said you would before, but anyway, I'll just re-offer that. We're going to start trying to figure out how we can start doing question and answers on Tuesday night, maybe the first part of the live. And then I'm going to start having you a couple people come on as guests for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes of the live. And we can just do question and answers and maybe answer people's questions they have about some kind of problem they have with their vehicle. Okay. All right. I'm going to call it a night. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. I'll be on here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. to do the basic automotive teaching. All right. You guys take care, huh? Thanks for showing up. Really appreciate it. If I get bored tonight and I can't sleep, I might get on here and just shoot the bull. Sometimes our bull crap sessions go pretty good. Maybe we'll see Maggot if we get on here late. All right, you guys, you take care. Thanks so much. Go big or go home, baby.